Hello, everyone. I would like to begin by thanking everyone for taking time out of their busy lives to learn something new today. Marijuana is a naturally occurring plant, with its effects first being recorded in ancient Hindu texts known as the Vedas during the 10th century BCE. As Western civilizations began colonizing India during the 17th century, marijuana quickly became popular in Europe among artists and authors. It was not until the early 20th century that cannabis started to gain popularity in the United States, due to an increased influx of cannabis brought in by Mexican immigrants in the West. It was in this time period cannabis was criminalized. When using the term drug, people are typically referring to a substance other than food intended to affect the structure or function of the body. In the United States, drugs that are regulated are called controlled substances. Generally, a controlled substance is a legal drug that can have a detrimental effect on a person's health and welfare. There are 5 categories of controlled substances arranged from Schedule 5 to Schedule 1. Schedule 1 substances include heroin, LSD, marijuana, psilocybin, and ecstasy, and are the most strictly regulated substances because they are deemed unsafe, hold a high potential for abuse, and have no accepted medicinal value. When going through this list, 2 substances stand out in particular: marijuana and psilocybin. These substances stand out because as of today, they both have accepted medical uses and are still regulated by the federal government as Schedule 1 substances. The decriminalization of marijuana has shown considerably increased support due to its widespread medicinal applications, and this support has led to its legalization in many countries such as Canada, Mexico, and Spain. Although there should be stricter regulations in place to prevent minors from obtaining cannabis, the legalization of marijuana for those over 21 can lead to many positive outcomes, such as making the medicinal benefits more readily available, economic gain, and government regulation of the substance. According to Wiley periodicals, marijuana offers a variety of medicinal benefits. A common misconception with marijuana is that it only contains one cannabinoid. In reality, cannabis contains over 100. Tetrahydrocannabinol, or THC, and cannabidiol, or CBD, are the main active cannabinoids. THC produces a psychoactive effects which are typically desired, as getting high. CBD is commonly known for its ability to counteract the psychoactive effects of THC and its wide range of medicinal benefits, and suggests countering seizures. In a research article outlining the effects of THC, it states that under certain conditions in particular doses, THC has been shown to have antidepressant and hypnotic effects in patients suffering from cancer, multiple sclerosis, and healthy subjects. CBD is a cannabinoid constituent which lacks the significant psychoactive or high-inducing effects of THC, but has demonstrated anti-inflammatory, anticonvulsant, and anxiolytic properties. According to the research conducted by Wiley periodicals, under controlled doses, both THC and CBD offer a wide variety of medicinal benefits. Through legalization and regulation, people will have access to natural forms of medicine. In the United States, marijuana is currently regulated as a Schedule 1 substance at the national level, meaning it has a high potential for abuse and no accepted medicinal use. Research shows that marijuana does in fact have medical benefits, and for this reason, it should not be regulated as a Schedule 1 substance. Through legalization, the government can regulate cannabis and provide a safer product grown in labs with measured levels of THC and CBD. At dispensaries, one can purchase cannabis with different levels of cannabinoids to achieve their desired effects. In addition to the medicinal benefits of cannabis, the legalization of cannabis offers large amounts of economic gain, with a market size of $9 billion in the United States in 2017 alone. Tax revenues from sales are projected to greatly increase as the industry grows. According to Forbes, legalization of marijuana on the federal level could result in an additional $105.6 billion between 2017 and 2025. According to a new report from the cannabis analytics firm New Frontier, that figure includes projections for business tax revenues, payroll withholdings, and a 15% sales tax. Meanwhile, fully legalizing cannabis today would add 654,000 jobs and up to 1 million jobs by 2025. The legalization of cannabis would give us the rise to a new industry in the United States. Money generated from marijuana tax revenues would allow for increased government funding for education, housing for the homeless, and criminals' mental health services. During 2017, in Colorado alone, marijuana tax dollars provided $29 million in education funding and $15 million in housing for the homeless. Not only will the cannabis industry provide a great economic gain, but it will bring an end to the cannabis black market. The black market for cannabis is notorious for its use of pesticides and harmful chemicals to speed up the budding process of marijuana. Many people who oppose the legalization of marijuana argue that through legalization, there will be an increase in adolescent use due to increased availability. Marijuana is not a substance that adolescents should be using due to the developing prefrontal cortex. The prefrontal cortex is associated with complex cognitive behavior, personality, and decision-making. The use of drugs during adolescence can lead to abnormalities in brain development and brain function. Although this is a valid argument, it is important to look at the facts when it comes to adolescence between the legalization of marijuana and adolescent use. In a research article by the Reason Foundation outlining the effects of the legalization of marijuana on adolescent use of marijuana, it states that the Colorado Department of Public Health and Environment say that cannabis consumption by teenagers in the state has not changed since legalization in terms of the number of people using or the frequency of use among users. That conclusion is based on data from the NSDUH National Survey on Drug Use and Health and the Healthy Kids Colorado Survey, which has a much larger sample of Colorado teenagers. Although there isn't an increase in marijuana usage in adolescents in association to legalization, adolescent use of drugs is still a major concern that should be taken into account. Similar to alcohol, a government-issued identification card is required when purchasing marijuana. States that legalize marijuana should put further restrictions in place to ensure that adolescents can't acquire the substance. The evidence suggesting positive health benefits, along with the economic value of cannabis, suggests that the government should take steps towards legalization. For generations, the drug marijuana has wrongfully been regulated by the United States government as a Schedule I substance. Thousands of individuals have been imprisoned, and now is the time to change how we look at cannabis. Thank you all for your time, and I hope you all have a wonderful day.